Alright, now the next task is we have to reduce the speed by pressing a key, let's say S, letter S for slow down. How we can do that? So in this case, if we see the program, and you will notice we have mentioned all the speed is a number as an integer here, and if we want to change this integer while the program is running, we have to do something about it. So in this case, we will introduce some variables. So we have some variables here, and you can define new variables. For example, I define speed here, and for example, if you want to see it again, I will delete it. So you go here to the plus and make a variable. So let's say I make a variable called speed. So when you make a variable, you will find a block for setting the speed to some values, okay? So in this case, I have this variable first. So now this variable, I'm going to put it here. So this will be like this, and this will be like this. So what happened when the up key is pressed? Without pressing S, the speed should be 100. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the default speed as 100 in the beginning of the program. In this case, I'll go to event and I go when startup. When startup means when the program starts, just for one moment, just for one pulse. What I'm going to do, I go to variable and I will set this variable to 100. This will only happen as soon as you start the program. Speed will set to 100. Okay, that's the default speed. So 100 will come here, 100 will come here. Similarly, now you will notice here it's minus 100. So I don't want to take another variable with minus 100. So what I'm going to do is I go to my operator and you will see this multiplication. So I will, okay, let's use it here. So I will multiply 100 with minus 1. So I will take the speed, which will be here. And here I will type minus 1. This becomes minus 100. So that I'm going to put it here. Well, when you press the down key, maximum speed which you set here, multiply by minus 1, minus 100 will be set to the right motor. Similarly for the left, I also need minus 100. So in this case, I will take the same thing. I go to operator, multiplication, minus 1, and variable, speed, and just put it here. Okay, let me just move it a little bit right. This goes here again, minus 100. Here it's 100 and minus 50. Okay, here what you're gonna do, let's see, we can play around with the variables quite a lot. So let's go to first in this case that's the 100, so you can just put it here. And now this is minus 50, and this is by default minus 50. So in this case, go to operator, and you will take division, multiplication. So this is multiply by minus 1. So first of all, I go to variable, I take the speed, multiply by minus 1, and then it's divided by 2. So this is by default my minus 50. So I will take this one inside this one, and it will take 2. So let's put it here. So this is, oh, wait. Yeah, so if you calculate 100 into minus 1 minus 100 divided by 2 minus 50. Comes here, very nice. So we do the same for here. So let's just now try if this works with variable. So I'm going to go to play, check my screen. Now I go forward, it's the same, 100. I go reverse, it's the same, right and left. So everything is working fine. And if I want to see this program and the simulation together, I can go to Scratch. And if you see, this visibility is still visible. And you can see on the top, it says 100 here automatically. And I can move around with this. Okay. Now the thing is, what we want to do, we want to use a button S on the keyboard or a key and reduce the speed by twice. Okay, if speed is maximum is 100, it should be 50. And it should also reduce in all the functions here. So in this case, what we're going to do is, I will go back to Scratch, stop the program. Now we need to divide this factor of speed by 2 when S is pressed. So let's take the condition when I will take S is pressed. What's going to happen? The speed should reduce. So I'm going to use set speed to 50. Now in this case, when speed is 50, this will be 50, this will be 50, this will be minus 50, this will be minus 50, and this is 50, and this will, but here you will notice if this is minus 50, this is now reduced, going back at 50% speed. In this case, it's going forward with 50% speed. Similarly here, right motor will be 50 and the left motor will be 50 into minus 1, minus 50 divided by 2, minus 25. So you see all the factors are reduced just by changing the variable. So when S is pressed, speed is reduced. And when S is released, so I go back here, then I will set back speed to 100. Simple as that. Let's give it a try. So I go here and I press S, and you see it's moved to 50. So now speed inside the program is 50. Now I press forward, you can see it's going slowly. And when I release S, oh wait a second, this should be S here. Don't forget that. Now I'll go back to play. So when S is pressed like this, now it's 100, and now I press S, now this is slow, and now when I release S, you can see it's back to 100. And it's going forward, it's going backward, and it's working like before. So that's how you can play around with some variables like that, and you can manipulate your program very simply using some blocks. So this is about today's this video. We're going to talk about the variables. In the next video, we'll make some line following robot, which you might have made in your school's project. You can also do that here, quite easy. See you in the next video.